Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the trade, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, this past week was a short week. We had Monday off. And I didn't trade that much, and I didn't do that well. So I had 15 wins, 6 losses for a 68.18% win rate, which is way below my average because my average is anywhere from 80 to 85, and lately the last few weeks it's been over 90. But to be honest, you're not gonna have, no one's gonna ever, be, not have a bad week or a bad day. So, I had a bad day on Friday, and that's what contributed to it. So when you don't trade that much for the week, it does, your stats are, your win ratio could be pretty low because you don't trade that much. Because that does contribute to the factor why they were so low. If I had, because I normally trade, I don't know, 25 to 30. If I've traded over 20 to 25, it probably wouldn't have been 68, probably would have been closer to 75, maybe even 80. But with that said, not making excuses. I just had a bad day, so bad week. So hopefully next week I'll make it up. But yeah, with that said, we'll just get right into it, and we'll talk about the trades as they happen. So trade ideas room on Tuesday. What I say on Tuesday? Tuesday was what, the 21st. SPY puts on the 37 370.50. Where is Tuesday, the 21st? As you can see, we had a monster quick gap up. We closed around, what is that, 366, and we opened up at 371. So we hit a $5 gap up. I hate that stuff, and the reason I was looking at a drop right here was because the head and shoulders, you get the left, you get the head and the right shoulder, and usually SPY likes to fill a gap. So that's what I was looking at. And so what I normally do is I wait the first 10 minutes on the play before jumping in. And I'm glad that I did, because I would have been wrong if I just jumped right into puts. But I did grab puts at 10:01, which is right here at the RCT trend line. Blow this up a little bit so we don't have so much noise. Yeah, I got it right up here, the RCT trend line. Trying to look at the hourly. Hourlies. So let's see, which day is it? Is it this one? The 22nd. Yeah, we're gonna pivot right in here at the 375, 376 area. You can see right here, support. Kind of a little bit of resistance here, resistance and support. So this area is pretty big, and through here. So that's what I was looking at. So when you have that level of resistance and you get an RCT trend line, I got it for a quick little play. But I don't get why I did bad. I took a loss on it. Let's see. I may have to bring it down to a 1 minute to see why I took the loss right there. Come on, let me change the time frame. Let's go 5 days. This is the 21st. Okay, let's see, 10:01. It was right around the 375 area. Yeah, I got it. Oh, I see. I got it right here, and that's where it popped. I got it on a little bit of the drop, then it popped right afterwards. Yeah, because I did take a loss on that on the first play of the day, which is right here. So it looks like I got it towards the bottom of this candle right here. And I had 375 puts at 199, and it popped on me. And I really thought that we were going to dump because of the $5 gap up. Then we went straight up from what 371 to 375. So I mean, at this point, it's up what almost $10. Yeah, 366. Yeah, $9 at this point. So usually SPY's max extreme range is anywhere from $10 to $15. So I was pretty confident in this that we were gonna get a nice rejection, and it just popped more. So yeah, I took a loss on the first play. Didn't start out that well. Then I took puts again. Let's see, at 11:11. Right here. I think I waited for the first 10-minute candle to form the red candle, because what ends up happening is this: you get the extended move up, then you get a red candle, and you get these, I call them the FU candles, because you get a strong move, you get a red candle to make it look like it's gonna drop or reverse, and then it just pops more. So that's where I got kind of stopped out right in here. Then yeah, because I stopped out at 40 cents, so I got it at 199, stopped at 40. I mean, I could have averaged down 375 because I bought them in the money, and I could have averaged down and done okay, but you just never know. Plus, you get SPX, you'll make up the loss. I mean, if you got it at 199 and you got sold at 140, at 40 cents, and you took 10 contracts, I mean, that's going to be about a $1,500 loss roughly, and you can make $1,500 on SPX very, very effortlessly. So if you time it right. So at 11:11, which is this candle right here, the red candle formed right here. So the next time it got below this area right here of 375.70ish, that's where I grabbed the SPX 3750 puts at $6, and they went from $6 to $10.50, and that dropped. So got what $4 and 50-cent move on that. Then I grabbed SPX puts again at 12.57, which is right here, right there, this green candle. Now the reason I grabbed it here, this is where SPY broke down. So when SPY breaks down, it comes back up. It likes to retest the area again, which it did right here, but I got it a little early. And I had the 37.60 puts at $8, and I got a little bit of a drop. So they went from $8 to $8.60. Not much of a play, to pop back up. And then I just sat out and I waited till end of day, close to end of the day. Last trade of the day was I try to become patient, because the long weekends or short weeks, for some reason I struggle. I don't know why. It is. I'm aware of that. So sometimes I just trade less because of it. And on a long weekend, Mondays, I'm more patient. I try to take my time more, because you get all this action that happened over the weekend. You got to let the news digest. You get to see how the market reacts to the news and what the market wants to do. And being the high gap, the massive gap up that it did, it makes it even more skeptical, to be more patient and stuff like that. So that's why I don't trade that much on Mondays, period, or after a long weekend. So in the short weeks, I kind of try to be a little more patient, but being patient this week, I just wasn't patient enough for some plays. But anyways, the last play of the day, I got it 319. Just make sure everything's recording well. Yep, 319, which is right here. Did pretty much the same thing as it did over here. Waited for the red candle to form at the top, which had made a topping candle right here. And when it got below this 370, well, see, we're around, say, 376 area. That is where I grabbed the 37.75 puts at 570, and they went from 570 to 820. So I got to be more patient and wait for the second candle on these drops, because this next week I will be a little more patient. I need to do better next week, and plus next week's going to be a full week, and it's going to be kind of a tricky week too, I think, because not only is it going to be a full week, it's going to be the last week of July, and I mean June, and that's the last week of the second quarter. Going into the 4th of July weekend, it could be very bullish. It could be, historically, it's bullish. So we'll have to see if that's what happens. So we'll cover that when we get to the watch list. So one loss, 3 wins on Monday. Tuesday. Let's see. Wednesday, sorry. Wednesday I said what? The 22nd. SPY puts under 368.50, which is right here. I kind of round down. It didn't do anything. It popped right up. And, I'm just at this point, I'm just skeptical that we're getting a dead cat bounce and we're going to just dump. But that didn't happen. The Fed last week just said that we were going to raise rates even more. Inflation is not subsiding. It's still going up. So I figured this would be a dead cat bounce. Short the pop still. And it did work, but it just... the market just kept going more than I anticipated. I thought it was going to actually turn around at 375 or even the 380 level and start coming back down, but crazy how strong it's been. So anyways, 375 puts at 957, which is right in this candle. Might have to break it down more so you can actually see it. What day are we on? The 22nd. Right here. Just breaking it down so we can see 957. So got it in this candle right here. So I got the 375 puts at 206, and it went from 206 to $3 on that drop right there. Now, why I picked it there? Let's see. Why did I pick it there? Oh, yeah, right here, the resistance from the day before. You see right here, right in the 374 area. This is what the previous day's support was, which is now resistance on SPY. And you can see it dropped quite a bit overnight. And did it lose all its gains? 368. No, it was down 366. So yeah, it lost most of its gains from it lost the previous day's gains. I was referring to the gap up on over the weekend, but no, it dropped quite a bit, and then it popped back up and did like a cup and handle right here. I thought about it, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna pop or not, and so I just waited, and it just ripped out of the gate. Plus, like that first 10-minute candle. Sometimes those first 10-minute candles are pretty massive. Look at this. This is from what, we'll say 370 to 370 250. So that's a $2.50 candle right there. But when it kept raging, it kept wicking. So it popped up, came back down, popped up, came back down a little bit, and then it popped up and it got to the previous day's resistance, which is right here. And that's where I took puts right here for a little scalp play. Yeah, they went from 206 to $3. Then I waited and got them at what, 1028. Why did I pick 1028? Where's 1028? Right here. Why did I get them right here? Looks like I got them at the double top on the previous day's top. Let's see exactly where I got it. 1028. Sometimes I like to get it a tad bit early, and sometimes that is 1028. Right here. No, right in here. Right in this. Yeah, this is where I got them. Right when it was consolidating right here in the 1 minute, but I don't look at the 1 minute. I probably saw something on the tape. And plus being close to double top, so I got it probably closer to this 377 area. Let's see, what day is that? The 22nd, 377. A little bit of resistance on the hourly, but yeah, I think I would buy just the previous day's highs, and that's where I got it. I got the 3750 at 540, and they went from, let's see, 540 to 730. So I'm trying to think of what was the next play. 1121. Yeah, because I went from 540 to 770 in that drop. And I got them again. I got the 3750 puts again at 1121, which is right in this candle. So when it opened up, popped back up, that's why I grabbed it up here for a double top rejection. I wasn't too confident that it would break out. I mean, after a what is this? Almost a $10 run, and it rejected pretty harshly, and it came back up to retest came close to retesting high. That's where I ended up grabbing it again. I grabbed the 3750 puts again at 520, and they went from 520 to 1260 in that little dump right there. Then I grabbed them again. I grabbed the 3750 puts again at 1221. When I grab them, 1221. Right here, right there. Well, I grabbed them right here. Now what I did was, looks like I caught the dump, came back up, retested the high, caught this area. Then when it came back up to test this breakdown area right here, the 376.10 area, this is where it actually initially broke down below these candles right here. Came back up and retested it. That's where I grabbed puts, and I ended up I reloaded, and I probably shouldn't have, and that's where I ended up taking a loss right here. So took a loss right there. Taking a loss almost every day this week. So I don't think I was in it that much. If I remember that, I didn't take that much of it. But at 2 o'clock, I grabbed calls at 2:05, which is probably right here. Right when it broke high a day, which is where I grabbed it. Sometimes I like to take it a little before the break, because when it does break, it ends up being pretty strong. As you can see right here, it's a pretty strong candle. I probably got it closer to probably right around the 370.80 area, 377.80 area. So I had the 3,800 calls at 440, and they went from 440 to $10, and that strong little push right there. So being late in the day and at the money calls were pretty cheap. So when you have you start looking at the option prices, you'll notice that like puts will be more expensive than calls. When you start seeing that stuff, it's usually a pretty good sign that something's going to end up happening on the cheaper side to bring down the prices on the other end. So you gotta kind of watch that a little bit. But yeah, they went from 440 to $10 in that little push right there in that breakout. Now, I was more confident that it would break out here, because you can see right here, this is where it was had resistance. It kind of like rejected it there, came back up, rejected it, came back up quickly. So when it broke this area, this is where I started thinking, okay, I'm going to take it. And this is where I took it right here, right in here, I bet. So then I took 3790 puts at prices blended together. I hate that when the timestamps blend together. Let's see, what was the actual time? 2:11. So it was in this candle right here. Now the reason I went switch to puts was because it did break out, and when you have a breakout, sometimes they like to do a fake breakout. And when we got the nice little push out, immediately after the next candle, I grabbed puts. And I probably grabbed them closer to down here, because I grabbed the 3790 puts at 640, and then I added. So I probably had to caught it down here, and it started to climb up again, and that's where I ended up adding, because I initially got it at 640, then I added it more at 495, making my average 545. And that was a good add, because I had a pretty good size on that, and that play alone was pretty substantial in my eyes, as far as what I had for size. So I don't remember what I had for actual size, if I had 20, 30, or 40, I don't remember. all I remember is that Fridays just sucked. So, but anyways, had a good play at the end of the day. I think I had 40. I think I had 40 contracts, to be honest. I don't remember, but you trade so much, you just everything becomes a blur. I just like to get in and out and forget the play and move on to the next. I don't really dwell on too much in the past, unless it burns me. Then I try to make a mental note of it. But yeah, they went from 545 to 1370 in that dump. So that ended up working out really, really well in that. So, yeah, one loss. Made up the last play alone. Made up well for that. And I remember that. I think I took the loss I had pretty small. I don't think I had that many. I think I only had a few, 4 or 5 contracts. I didn't have that much, but the last play alone covered that. So then on, let's see, Thursday. Try not to get my days mixed up. Let's see. Thursday I had Baba. Now Baba burnt me twice. Usually, let's see what I said in the trade ideas room. Trade ideas room. SPY puts under 375.50 and Baba puts under 108.50. 108.50 is right here, and usually I always go and say that if Baba gaps up substantially, that it likes to fill the gap. It's almost one of those guaranteed things, but it's not. Say this week it was not guaranteed things because it burnt me twice doing the same thing. It had this massive gap up, and the 108.50 is the area where it's found support. So if it broke that, which it did just slightly, so right when it broke that, I got the 108 puts at 170. Then I ended up dumping them at 106. So I had this massive pop. It was just ridiculous, and then it came back down and held this area, and then it finally it broke just a little bit, but it wouldn't have made the put screen because it was too far gone because of theta. But usually I wait the first 10 minutes out, and because it's Baba or Tesla, I don't usually wait the first 10 minutes because usually when they start dumping hard. So, but right here, it dumped just enough to get me in, then it ripped. So yeah, that was very annoying to see. And so from now on, on Baba, I'm probably gonna wait the first 10-minute candle out, and and if it does do a massive drop, the first 10-minute candle, I'm probably gonna miss a big portion of the move. But I'm not gonna get burned like this twice, because I got burnt by Baba twice this week on this exact same setup. Gapped up huge, came back down just enough to get you in, then it ripped, because it did that on Friday too. So yeah, that did kind of was annoying, because I would have been good plays, because Baba's given us some really good plays in the morning. So with that said, to see SPY puts under 375.50, which is right here. I kind of round it down a little bit. Yeah, round it down just a little bit for a nice easier number. But I grabbed 375 puts at 946 right here first, because we're in Baba right here. I grabbed it right when it broke below this area. I grabbed the 375 puts at 285. They went from 285 to 329 in that little dump right there. And then I switched to calls at 959, which is right here. It came back down. Then when it quickly came back up to this area right here, I switched to calls, thinking, okay, we were going to break out. So I caught the little scalp right here. Then I switched sides quickly. Had the 38. Had SPX 3810 calls at 650, and they went from 650 to 810 in that little push right there. So you got what, $1.60 move. I mean, you take 10 contracts and you get $1.50 move. You should take it, or at least sell some into the strength and just try to cut the rest to break even. And I know SPY SPX, I mean, it's kind of hard to cut losses on them because it moves so fast. But you just gotta learn to be a little faster and try to take what you can get and not get greedy, because if you get greedy with SPX or anything, it's just going to end up costing you. So I know sometimes I get greedy and I just want a bigger move, and it does burn me sometimes, but normally I don't do that. Sometimes I only do that when I get a little frustrated. But anyways, then I took the 38.10 calls again at 10:21, which is right here. When it came back up, as you can see, we caught the drop here. It came back up. We caught the fake breakout right here, just enough to get it, and it came back down. And when it quickly came back up to this area of the 377 10 area again, that's where I grabbed the 38.10 calls at 550 this time, and they went from 550 to 720, and that little pop right there. Then I switched to puts at 1124, which is right here. As you can see, it popped up. We got the breakout, came back down, quickly got bought back up, tried to break out again, it didn't. Then it came back down, and right when it broke below these clusters of candles, this consolidation area right here, as soon as it broke below the 37.10 area again, and that's where I grabbed. Which candle I grabbed it in? Yeah, this candle right here. As soon as it got below these candles right here, I grabbed the 37.60 puts at 520, and they went from 520 to 16.90 if you held all the way through. And then I ended up grabbing puts again at 12.29, which is right 12.29. Right here. Okay, so that was the move right here. Then I want to bounce back up. I grabbed them again on the break right here. We got the drop here. It popped up a little bit. It didn't quite get to the 20 EMA, but when it started to come back down, I grabbed the puts again. I grabbed the 37.50 puts this time at 820. And they went from 820 to 15.70 in that little drop. It was definitely at the money at $8.20. So, yeah, 820 to 15.70 in that little drop right here. Then I switched to calls at 332. 332, where are you? Right here. I waited up here. I got the breakout again right here. I got the 37.90 calls at 460, and they went from 460 to 890 in that little push. So yeah, I could have got it. I was kind of eyeing. One thing I've been noticing is that I like to buy the rejections and supports off from the VWAPs and stuff, VWAPs and moving averages. And what ends up happening is when SPY is going down like it is here, and it gets to the 20 EMA, we haven't been getting much rejection. In fact, it's been like, maybe a tiny bit of rejection and just steamrolling through. We've been seeing that the last week or two, that usually when you have a big drop and it comes back up, tests the 20 EMA, then you'll have another pretty substantial drop. But lately, VWAP, 20 EMA, they haven't been having much reaction lately from a drop to a V rally. So we've just been V rallying through most of the week. So when we got to the higher day again, I just got the breakout. I mean, why not? SPY could just end up going stupid again, and it did. Went from 460 to 890. So, and that little breakout. So then we had, let's see, Friday. I think I had Baba again on Friday because that's what I started out with. Friday. It was so annoying. Let's see. Yeah, I had Baba. Same thing happened with Baba again. Big gap up. And you can see, look at the gap up. You went from 105 to 109, then it went from 112 to 114. So I said it in the Trade Ideas room, SPY puts under 380.50 and Baba puts under 114.50. 114 is right here. I can round it down a little bit. And of course, the first 10-minute candle broke that area I was looking at. I got Baba puts at 115. The 115 puts at $1.54. Now, if I waited the first 10-minute candle out and grabbed the low on the second candle, I wouldn't have got stopped out on either one of them. I wouldn't have taken either one of them. And that's what I'm going to end up doing on Baba and Tesla from now on. I don't like doing that because usually when they break the levels, you get that sharp knife, that first 10-minute candle. And it's just not worth it. I mean, it's there's better plays out there. I mean, it's not like it moves like SPX, and it's not worth it. I'm not going to do it anymore. I mean, not unless it starts acting appropriately. But this week, if Baba gaps up, I'm not going to do it on the first 10-minute candle. I'm going to wait some. That was my loss. I had 3 losses on Friday. Friday was very, very annoying. Then I made up my loss on SPX. Oops, why did I press SPX? Spotty. I took it at, let's say, 10.25, which is this candle right there. I did take my challenge right there. We had not so great numbers. Home sales went up, but consumer confidence went down, and that's why it rocketed. But I took it at what, 10.25, which is right here. Blow it up a little bit. 10.25 right here. Got the red candle when it came back down. This is where I took it. I took the 38.60 puts at 650, and then went from 650 to 910, and that was a nice little win. Then I took 38.60 puts again at 10.50, which is right here. Pop back up, and it dropped back down. It didn't quite go green. I thought it was going to go green. It didn't. It just chopped and chopped. So I mean, I think I think it did go green here a little bit. If I remember correctly, I think that it did get almost up to $7 because I had the 38.60 puts at 640. I think it went close to 7, and I didn't take it because I was expecting a bigger move because of this. I mean, it looks pretty good right here. I mean, you get it right here. It pops up, comes back down, and it's safe to say that it's breaking below these candles that you're gonna get a flush to VWAP or 20 EMA, and it just didn't. It got quickly rebought back up, and they kept it in a tight channel all day long. And so I just held it all day long. I didn't trade it anymore because these choppy plays, the way I play them is, if you try, like right here, if you bought puts right here thinking it's going to break down, then you popped it. If you bought calls right here thinking they were going to pop it, if you bought puts right here and you think it was going to drop, it popped on you. Then if you bought calls up here thinking it was going to break out, it drops on you. You're chasing a direction that's not happening. And with being Friday expiration day and theta running wild, that you can take substantial losses trying to catch the drop or the breakout, the drop, the breakout, the drop or the breakout. And it's not doing either or, because I was watching calls, even though it was moving up a little bit, theta was wrecking them so much that even though the direction was right, they were still going red. They were still red. They weren't moving. And so what I did was, at this point, when I had my puts right here, I just said, okay, I'm going to keep my puts. I'm just going to see what happens, whatever. If it dumps, it dumps. It doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to try to stop out or try to keep trying to get closer at the money and trying to catch the drop or try to catch the breakout. I noticed right away that's what it was doing, but I was not expecting it to go all day long. And yeah, if you tried to do that, you could have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, you could have taken 6 or 7 losses just trying to play a breakout or a breakdown. And you would took huge losses. So that's why I just took my puts, held my puts, and instead of trying to take a bunch of losses and just take one. Then at the end of the day, I took puts at 349, which is right here. Started to come back down. I thought for sure we were gonna dump. Right after I got in a pop, but I got the 3,900 puts at 340. I didn't think they were going to pay the 3,900 calls because it was pretty substantial open interest on SPX, but they ended up paying it. I think it did close over 3,900. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did close over 3,900. So they did end up paying all those calls. But I was looking at the open interest, the massive run we had all week, and that we were going to end up having a dump. So it started to look okay for a second, then it just ripped, and now it ended up doing it. So yeah, it could have been a lot worse, to be honest with you. I mean, Bama tricked me twice. I got burnt on that, and so I could have definitely done something about that. And but yeah, Friday, even though I did take 3 losses, I mean, it could have been a lot worse if I wasn't, kind of aware of what was potentially happening, and just sat out like I did. So that was the perfect time to do that. So red day on Friday. Still had a nice green week, so I'm not going to complain. But next week, hopefully, we'll have a nice strong week to make up for this week. So be a full week. And that's going to do it for the recap. I hope this has helped you guys understand the mentality, why I took it, and stuff like that. This is how you learn. And that's going to do it, and hope to see you in the room. Thank you for watching.